So you want to be a professional developer. Professionalism can bring a lot of advantages for your software development career. Being professional will make both your employer and your peers trust you and respect you more. And that will translate into raises and freedom to do your job without constant micromanagement. But professionalism is a loaded term. It can mean honor and pride, but also it can mean responsibility and accountability. You can't have one without the other. The two go hand in hand. You can take pride and honor or be rewarded for something that you can't be accountable for. Now, the first thing to being a professional is taking responsibility for your work. To do so, you need to follow the following principles. First, do not harm. Do not create any bugs. You might be thinking, but software development is a complex job and there will always be some bugs in the code no matter how hard you try to be perfect. And you would be right, I'm not saying you need to be perfect all the time. But the human body is also a really complex machine, even more so than software. However, doctors still take an oath to not do harm. If they can take responsibility for their errors, software developers can as well. Now, that being said, you should strive for QA not to find anything. Releasing code to QA that you know to be faulty is the most unprofessional thing you can do. And what code do you know to be faulty? Any code you aren't certain about. And the way you get certain about the code is by testing it over and over again until you are 100% sure it works. You may be thinking that testing the code so much will take too much time, and that's what you need to automate your tests and write unit tests that can be executed anytime you need. Your test coverage should always be near 100% to make sure your code works. Now, that being said, the next step is take responsibility for your career. It is not your employer's responsibility to make sure you are remarkable. You should be learning things outside of your job. A software developer should always be learning. You should have side projects that you use to learn, but also these side projects should be fun for you. They should remind you of the reason you got into software development in the first place. Don't think of this extra time put into these projects as extra hours work for your employer. Think of them as hours work for you. You are the main person benefiting from these learning projects. Another great way to learning is mentoring. Nothing will drive facts and values into your head faster and harder than having to communicate them to people you are responsible for. Professionals take responsibility for mentoring juniors, but also is a great learning opportunity for you. And now the last point I'll touch in this video is humility. A professional should be confident on the things he can accomplish, but should also know his limits, and he should never be arrogant about his abilities. Most of this video was inspired by the first chapter of the book The Clean Coder. I will leave an Amazon link for the book in the description if you want to read it for yourself.